Hello, beautiful. How are you doing today? So many of us live from a place of fight or flight, of survival, of anxiety, and of constantly trying to figure out how to do this life. What's our next step? What are we supposed to do? How do we get out of the mess? How do we find peace? And we are in a constant state of kind of running after, looking for solutions, something that will get us out of this state that we know is not healthy. And we wish that we could function from a different place. Maybe we see other people who seem to be able to, but for us, it seems like out of reach. And in a way, when we've lived like that for a long time, it's like it's become our only MO, our modus operandi, the only way that we know how to function in the world without this stress response and this like bracing and having to figure out, a solution to the problem. At some point, I know for me and maybe for you too, it's almost an illusion, this idea that there's another way to be in the world. And yet, most of us, we've had those moments of peace. Those little, I talk about pockets of joy sometimes. Now I'll talk about our little pockets of peace. Moments where we are kind of overcome with a sense of peace, and it lasts a few minutes, half a day, an hour, a day, but it's usually very fleeting. And that's what keeps us on the path of trying to find a way to get back to that because we've experienced it, but we don't know how to sustain it. We don't know how to use it. We don't know how to hang on to it. And it just constantly eludes us, and it's very fleeting. So, I want to share the story of what's been happening to me in the last 3, 4 days. 4 days. Because it's a story for hope. And there are not many stories like that in the world nowadays, in this life that is very intense and often very difficult. So, as some of you know, I've been living with a lot of stress for a while. And recently, I won't go into all the aspects, but recently, the most, the top shelf stress inducer has been that now in 2 weeks, I need to move from this rental, find another place to live, and I have found nothing. Nothing that I can afford, that I can imagine myself living in. And I knew that with what I can afford, I couldn't go on the traditional listing. So I've been super creative. I created these little cards that I've been leaving on people's mailbox and pinned on houses. And I did these really creative posts on all kinds of Facebook groups and Nextdoor. Anyway, and talking to everybody I encounter, stopping them when I take a walk, giving them a card, explaining what I'm looking for. Anyway, very intensely and creatively trying to find a place to live, to move to, and totally unsuccessful. And it's been getting really worrisome. Then 3 days ago, I'm going to pick three. I don't remember if it's 3 or 4. I woke up one morning, which usually each morning I wake up like with a goat on my chest and anxiety very present. But I woke up that morning with this sense of peace inside of me. I mean, I've been praying and intending to find peace and inviting it because the way I've been living is just not sustainable. It's not healthy for my body, that's for sure. But I woke up that morning with this sense of peace. And in the midst of all this, it was like, whoa, what is this doing here? And so I decided upon waking, I made my latte and I said, I am going out. I'm going to go for a walk on the beach. It was the first beautiful, I take the truck, drive to the beach, but it was the first warm day since last October. And I said, I don't care what's happening in my life right now, all the things that I think I have to frantically continue to do. I am going for a walk and I am going to maintain and stay in that sense of peace for a little while and open up to whatever moving through the world from a place other than survival is going to bring to me. And I really, really opened up. And that little hint of peace that was given to me upon waking, I really took it in, held it, and said, stay with me. I like you. I'm not letting you go right now. As I'm driving out, I stopped because there was a woman working in her garden, and I figured I'm gonna talk to her, give her a little card in this from this peaceful place. I tell her my situation, and then she just looks at me. I'm inside from my window, and she just said, "Have faith. Things work out. Have faith." And I said, "Okay, have a good day. Thank you." And I left. And as I was driving and started after that walking on the beach, this kept looping in my head. And as I was opening up and embracing the sense of peace from the moment, now I had this message: have faith. Things work out. Have faith. So I went on and walked, and it was absolutely beautiful. I held on to this, and then I came back here and I did some things, but from this place of inner peace. So in that morning, I had set the intention that today I was choosing peace. No matter what, I was not going to let all this anxiety get to me. I was choosing a day of peace inside amidst the chaos. So I spent the day in that mindset. Like I said, came back, did things, went to bed, and it was good. I was doing things peacefully. I did accomplish some tasks I needed to do towards moving because I'm moving, regardless of what is happening, I'm still have to move. And I went to bed and it was nice. Woke up the next day and I thought, okay, I'm doing it again. Let's have another day of choosing peace. And I told myself, okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing as yesterday. I'm going to prepare my latte, another beautiful day. I'm going for a walk again, and I'm cultivating peace. I liked how it worked yesterday, and I was like, I want more. This feels really, really good. So off I go. As I am walking barefoot in the sand, talking to life and looking at nature moving without any anxiety, this thought came to me of, hey, why don't you just pack your things and go to Quebec? I'm in Massachusetts right now. I'm originally from Canada in Quebec. Why don't you pack your things and go to Quebec for a few months and go see your mom? My mom is 90 years old. I haven't seen her a lot because life has been crazy for too many years. And as I was walking, it was like, okay. And I could feel like this feels like something could be nice in there. And in my walk, at some point, I was like in my head, I think I said it out loud. It was like, are you really saying this? Like, am I hearing this right? Is that truly what you're suggesting to me here? Because my goal and what I was holding on with a grip was that after years of constantly being in temporary places and moving, I think this is going to be the 8th time in 3 years and 14 times in the previous 9 years, it was like, I want a rental for 1 year so that I can settle, calm my nervous system, and just stop moving around for a while. So that idea of just going for a few months or a couple months, doing that and storing my things and being in another temporary state was kind of not what I wanted it to look like. But the feeling came with a lot of peace. So I came here, started doing the what's the word I'm looking for? All the logistics. What does it mean? All the things that I would need to think about. And it was making sense. And there was kind of an excitement. And I was feeling more energy than I felt in a long time because I've just been kind of crashing a lot. But I wasn't sure if I was making things up or if that was actually a sensible and good solution. So I called a friend, told her about this, what it would mean, the things I was afraid of, and the not settling and still being, in my suitcases. But after talking, it was like, Annie, I think this might actually, you could reframe the whole thing like, you're not moving, you're just going to a retreat, you're going to focus on the business, see your mother, and you can just reframe the way you're looking at it, and it might actually be a good idea. So I got online and started contacting people on the different websites where I want to be with my mom and on Facebook Marketplace, and I sent a few things. Then I send one, and 2 minutes later, I get a text saying, yes, it's still available. It didn't look like it was, but I always dare to ask people, I know you say it's no longer available, but what about? And then the woman replied, I'm busy until 6. Let's talk at 6. So I kind of let things go and thought, could it really be that simple? Well, it turns out that at 6 o'clock, I had a place, a nice house, for rent for 2 months. And it's actually done. I've rented it. And what amazes me is how easy it was. And it made me realize how much, in hindsight, it looked like I was trying to force something to happen here that wasn't wanting to happen for me. Like there was, it wasn't part of the big plan. And however I tried, however positive and original and creative I was being and trusting, even though I was anxious, I still had a lot of trust because things work out. And it amazed me how easy that was, and that maybe I had been trying to force something that wasn't meant to be here. And previously in a video, I shared that I moved from Sedona, Arizona to Massachusetts here last fall because I heard a calling telling me, you're meant to go there, go there. And I did. And I was like, okay, I'm here. I still don't know why. And with this idea, it made me think, maybe that's why, in part, that I meant to go be in the same town as my mother, my 90-year-old mother, who loves me, with who I talk to 2 hours a week on FaceTime. We're very close. And I haven't seen her, I haven't really spent time with her in so long. And maybe that's one of the reasons, because I can just get in my car and go there within a few hours. And it felt really good. And there's something interesting that happened with that. In my original presentation to try to find a house, one of my posts was traveling abroad for a while, want somebody, looking for somebody to, lovingly care for your home, blah, blah, blah. And the woman that I'm now getting her house from, when we talked, she said, yes, my husband and I are in France for a few months and we're hoping to have somebody. And it was like, what? Like, this is what I've been putting out, and I'm getting it, but in a different way. It looks different than what I thought it was going to look like. And another a point that I want to make in there is that I had to stay open. I had to be from a place of peace to allow things to come to me. I had to listen and be willing to hear things that were outside the box. But also, it's that I was looking for a solution to calm me down for a year, and I was very attached to that. And anything else seemed like my nervous system just could not handle it. And strangely, this solution is only for 2 months. And yet I feel at peace. And it reminds me of people who say that God only shows you the next step. The universe, life, doesn't tell you the whole plan and tell you this is how it's going to unfold. It shows you the next step. And this is how I'm seeing this, that God, life, has shown me the next step, and the next step is 2 months. And I'm going to go and I am going to trust, because trust and feeling at peace works. And I can feel that peace because of when and how that idea came to me. It came to me while I was at peace, opening my heart, ready to hear something that was not what I wanted it to look like. But most of all, everything fell into place once I found a way, divinely gifted grace, of connecting to a moment of peace that I chose to hold on to and build upon. And this is what I want to offer to you. And by the way, it doesn't mean I'm going to be not going to go back to anxiety. I already sometimes feel this tug of my normal way of functioning. It's like, what? You're feeling at peace? Like, that's weird. That's not how life works. Something must be off. You must be wrong. And I can feel my mind, my pattern, my ego, my inner child, whatever, my pattern, wanting to take me back to a sense of anxiety. You still have to pack. It's only 2 months. You're going to search again. You're not settling, blah, 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 blah. But I am able to right now observe it. And I was thinking the other day, it's like when you're in a car that is misaligned and it keeps pulling to the right, and you have to bring it back, and it takes a little bit of effort to actually course correct, because what it wants to do is veer to the right and carry you in another direction. So right now I am able to observe that pull towards anxiety. But I don't know, I'm reveling in this. But because I'm still feeling that peace and trusting, that's where I wanted to go a minute ago. And wait, what I want to say is, I'm trusting because of, right, that's what I started to say, sorry. I'm trusting because of how and when and what state I was in when that solution came to me. So I heard it when I was in a place of inner peace. Two, it's how it made me feel. It brought me peace, it gave me excitement, and it gave me more energy than I've had in a long time. And those to me make it a sure sign that I can trust this decision, even if I don't know what's next and it kind of contradicts what I thought it would look like. I can trust it. And I am choosing right now to trust it. And even if doubts come, I remind myself, no, no, remember how this happened. Remember how it felt. Remember how easy it was for things to come together. It took me 2 hours. I've been searching for weeks, like giving all my attention and energy to trying to find a place here. It took 2 hours, one phone call, one easy, nice, oh, this is great. Oh, she wanted that much money. Oh, I can't pay that. I would offer this. Oh, Annie, that's absolutely fine. I'm just happy that somebody's going to be in my house and blah, blah, blah. It even has a Vitamix waiting for me. Anyway, so I wanted to share that story. I'm going kind of long today. I wanted to recap, and maybe I can do a quick recap. Okay, if you're in anxiety, uncertainty, fight or flight, survival, I get it. But ask for peace, like meditate, pray, think of how is it possible, could I possibly feel peace? And then if you feel a moment of peace, grab onto it. If it doesn't come that way, maybe you've experienced a moment of peace before in whatever circumstance. Try to recall it and bring it back, bring your connection back to the place where you felt it. Be open that the solution might not look like what you wanted it to look like. Be open that it might just be giving you a next step and what not the entire unfolding that you were looking for. Be ready that it's going to feel weird, because if you live all the time from anxiety and survival, peace feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels unsafe, which is crazy, but it's just how we're wired. And another part I wanted to say is, when you do this, do something, go out for a walk, play hooky, make room. We have to make space for something else to come to us. Too often, when we're in this frantic state of trying to figure out everything, there is no space for life, for God, for the field, for the now, for our guides to do things and to speak to us. So do something that pulls you out of your anxiety state, and this way consciously say, I am getting out of the way, so that the solution comes from elsewhere than from my mind trying to figure it out. Then listen and hear the surprising things that come to you. And finally, be bold. Be brave, because it's going to take a little bit of courage to take a step, not exactly in the direction that you wanted to, but trust that if you add an inspiration come to you in a moment of peace that brought you calm, energy, and excitement, even if after some parts of you wanted to tell you, no, 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 it's wrong, remember and hang on to that feeling, and then trust it, take action, and see where it leads you. And let's see what the next step is after that. So, those are the great, great gifts of starting from a moment of peace and doing this whole thing and seeing what happens. So I'm super excited. I'm packing all the time. I'm organizing everything. I'm like, my mantra had been, I always live in a beautiful home. I am excited about where I'm going. I have the energy to do what I want to do. And here I am. I have it all. And now I just have to do the tasks to lead me there. And I'm excited to go spend time with my mother. I've been isolated for a long time. And it's like, oh, not only is it great for her, but I'm going to go get myself some love too, because I'm going to be just a couple miles away from her, which is kind of crazy. But I'm going to go fill me with some love. So I'm excited about that. Okay, this was a long, long one. I'm still going to post it. Don't know how many of you will come all the way to the end, but I wanted to share that story. So I love you. I wish you a moment of peace. And when you get it, hold on to it, grab onto it, expand and move from it. And go and take a moment, get out of the way, play hooky, go in nature, and let go of your worry and your anxiety for a moment today. I love you. Bye.